Okay,
You're recording.
we are recording. We are live. Welcome to Northwest Nuclear Laboratories. And we are on the 17th of July doing a follow up investigation again on the gas target phenomenon after chasing a bunny trail in the wonderful world of temperature land. For those who know what the story is and know what's going on. Okay, I am going to switch audio systems. Switching now. Okay. And I am now on the other audio. And I'm going to go retreat to the reactor room where we'll kick things off. Ha! We're here. Okay. Okay, on the screen in front of you, you'll see a PowerPoint. And the significance of the PowerPoint is that,
I think we can see a PowerPoint. I can see an Excel spreadsheet.
oh, thank you very much. And I should know better. Yeah, let's look at the Excel spreadsheet. This square up here, this portion is the part that we should be concerned about because that is the east-west from last week. That is our latest data. And it was taken at 50 kV and I believe it was taken over a period of temperature no greater than 75 degrees. So, interesting. I got an issue with my mic here. So these counts right here are the ones that we took last week. And we're most interested in these two. And when I put them in, I noticed that they are within about 7,000 counts. Let's say 6,000 counts of each other as far as the isotropic output per second. Even though one is 18, the other is 21, there's only a spread of about 6,000 in the isotropic between them, which tells me that those are real numbers. What we're going to be interested in is, we did the east-west last week. We're doing the north-south tonight. And what we're looking for is, after we stick in our numbers, will we see something in the 100,000? Will we see something in the 70,000? What will we see? But we're going to try to do it at about 75 degrees and 50 kV. That's our challenge. Because we know the voltage plays a role, and now we know temperature plays a role. if we get those two as close to where we were last week, then we would reasonably expect, if there is no significant difference in the way that the gas is fed into the system, we would expect these numbers to be very close to the same. So that's the task. So we have reconfigured the reactor. We have cooling plates on both the north and south. We're currently looking at the data. We're in the little colder than that, so about 60, 65 degrees. Now, if I wanted to capture this at 75 degrees at 55,000 volts, what should I set the temperature to on my cooling water? Anyone have a guess? Oh, come on, somebody. Be adventuresome.
Well, last week you had it set at around 41 and it ranged between in the 70s. So like maybe 20 or like 30 degrees lower.
That's exactly what I was looking for. Just your understanding that there's drift as the cooling passes through the metal. We're not going to be able to set the cooling temperature to the temperature we want as an output. That's not how it works. We have to lead the temperature. Now, if you take a look at where we are right now, we don't want to go over 75. I've actually got it currently set to about 56 degrees. And we will go ahead and turn the reactor on, and then I'm going to start dropping the temperature on the cooling while the temperature rises on the conflats. And the hope is that I can outrun the temperature with the cooling system and keep it right about 75 degrees, 70, 75 degrees, right in that window. And we're going to wait until things stabilize. So we're going to get started, because that may take a little while. Okay, we've got gas flowing. High voltage is active. Okay, and we're off and running.
Who's going to record the data tonight?
Couple volunteers, please.
I can do it again.
I can do it again also.
Okay,
Great.
we got it. I want you to notice here, I'm going to go ahead and just jump up here to about 75,000. And look what happens to our neutron output. We have made some amazing improvements in this machine. it can outrun um, anything we want to give it. Okay, so there we are at about 50,000. That's going to drift a little bit as temperature drifts, but we're off and running. What we're going to pay most attention to is this temperature factor. So I'm going to start right away. And we'll drop the temperature down. Okay, I have it set to 41 degrees, but I don't think I'll have to leave it there. I'll be able to bring it back up as things settle in, but I want to get that cold running right now because I know that the temperature will run away at this power point. Okay? Well, we've got a little extra voltage here. Let's bring this down. Okay, so it looks like we're right around 500,000 neutrons per second. And we're currently at 70, and just for giggles, we'll go ahead and do our first count tonight and see what we've got coming out of the south. We are in a north-south configuration, and this thing's running hot. Okay, 50,000, looking good. Okay, 30,544. We can just kind of grab that as an early peekaboo. It was done at about 70 degrees. In our north-south configuration. And if you recall, the south is the one that's absolutely butt up against that conflat, so we expect it to be a high number. That's normal.
What are we saying the temperature is?
Temperature right now is 70. I got one at 68 and one at 70. Power's holding pretty steady. Allowing for a little drift here. We'll give it a few minutes.
Carl, does the cooling water run through one of them first and then go on to the other conflat?
The cooling water comes up from the chiller into a manifold. That manifold feeds all four conflats independently.
Okay.
So which is to say that there are four takeoffs that go up into the 4 conflats. So each conflat is getting the same temperature cooling water straight out of the pump. It doesn't go ring around the rosy and then come back down, because what that would do is that would unevenly cool
Right.
the conflats.
Yet the conflats are not the same temperature, slight difference. That's what I was wondering.
That's because of the placement of the thermocouple.
Oh.
They're not exactly in the same place on all of them, and that's my bad. I'm waiting for some aluminum tape. I used all my aluminum tape. I'm out.
Okay.
So I'll get some more aluminum tape over the weekend, hopefully. And I'm watching the power level. It's very consistent, right about 550,000 neutrons per second, so a little over 500,000 neutrons per second, isotropic. Temperature is pretty steady. 70. Oh, both of them are reading 70 degrees right now. Front and rear, 70 degrees. Solid. That's a good thing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do another count. We'll see how consistent we are. Want to keep that 50,000 right on there. $27,548. Dropped a little there. It does. It's starting to look like my cooling is in fact overrunning the conflats. The rear is now dropping to 69. So that's a good thing. I'm going to go ahead here. We're at 5.4. I'm going to go ahead and bring it back up to about 6 degrees Celsius. Okay, so we'll give it a little headroom here. It looks like we normalized really quickly. That's amazing. So 72 and 70, 69, 71. Okay, I'm going to start another count. Let's see where we're at. Uh, 28 to 94. What was our last one? 20, 27 what?
27,548.
Okay. Okay, we're 69.70. I think we're where we want to be, folks. So I'm going to go ahead and start the counts all the way around. We'll shoot one more count here as a baseline, and then we'll walk the detector all the way around the machine, just like we did last week.
Are we still at 70 degrees?
We are 69.70. 28,079. And we are currently 6 degrees Celsius for cooling water. And apparently thermally balanced. So we've reached an equilibrium with the amount of heat coming in versus the amount of cooling. Very cool. Okay. I am going to rotate this guy to the east. We are at the east. Slight nudge here in the power. Okay, solid at 50. We'll go to our count. KV starting out nice and solid at 50,000. Good consistent power. This is going to be a much lower number. 94, 97. Temperature still 70 degrees. Holding solid. Power still at 50,000. Holding solid. Okay, we're going to rotate again. Okay, just to kind of show you there, we're on the back side just like the A. Okay, we'll go to our counter. We're off and running. PC says, hey, right at 50,000, tracking 500,000. Real significant. I don't know if you can see this or you see a reflection, but there's a 6970 right there. And that's what we're looking at. Now this is going to be a low number 2, 11,833. The reactor vessel is actually farther from this side than any of the others. 11,833, okay. You stay there. Naughty camera. Or chair. Things moving around on their own in the reactor rooms. Not nice. Okay. Look good. PC, looking at the power. Good. Might scooch it up just a little bit here. Okay, that's solid. Going to the nuke. And we're off and running.
So we're on the west side now?
Correct. We're on the west side.
And what's the current temperature?
Current temperature is 70 degrees. It's bouncing up towards 71 occasionally. I think I'm going to go ahead and give it some more cooling. Not that that's going to make much of a difference at this point. Okay, I dropped it back down to 5, which is your 41. We will try to drive things down a little bit, but we're talking 1/10 of a degree here. It's a solid 70. And our number finished. We're at 11,506. $11,506. And I'm going to shut it down. And we will pull up our Excel sheet. And we're going to go ahead and populate what was our north reading.
11,833.
Wait a minute, this is north-south. Okay, so 11 what?
11,833.
Okay, and the south?
Well, which one? The last one we did, or the last one we did was 28,079.
No, 28,079, so it's 28,079?
Yeah.
Okay, and what was the east and the west?
East 9,497,
And
and west was 11,506.
okay. Okay, so you're watching with me here as we do this live. Again, this was done at 50 kilovolts, and we see 84 and 71. If I try to average between those, I'm going to come up with something like, what, 78,000? Let's do that, Carl. So 80. I get 78,054 between the two. Okay, so this is 78,054. And this, I'm going to call it 130. 103,500 approximately. Okay, I come up with a 25% difference. And what it's telling me is at the same temperature, same voltage, our gas target was 25% higher in neutron count than was our north-south. our east-west, was the dominant player. Does everyone see how I got that? No one saw how I got that, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I saw.
Does anyone else see it?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. This certainly wasn't a wasn't intended to be a data collection to write a proof of concept. What this was an exploratory, stick your finger in the water, sniff test, and say, okay, after we get done playing with the temperature, is there still merit in the idea that this gas target gave us some significant additional count of neutrons? And I have to say that 25% is a big enough number to warrant that conclusion. That yeah, the fight isn't over. We did run into a rabbit hole. We did manage to, using real science, figure out what the heck was going on. We've got a humidifier in here pulling the moisture out of the air. We've got another machine that's cooling things off much more than it was before.